Hey everyone, Boilon here, and happy Saturday, and welcome to another video on Lord of the Rings Home. Today, I want to kind of cover a little bit of my thoughts on the reveal for Arwen. I know this is a day and a half late now, but I do want to talk about it anyways. I want to talk about it in relation to the upcoming, or soon to happen, Elrond Legendary Unlock event, and what this might mean for the characters that are required or going to be required for this event. So if you're ready to go, everybody, and let's boil this down. So some of you may or may not have seen this posted. It was eventually posted into the Lord of the Rings official Discord news posting area, but this was actually, I'm not going to say leaked, but their website crew, they had posted it earlier before the Discord was prepared to push this out. Anyway, so we have the official confirmation that Arwen is going to be the first marquee character to come to Lord of the Rings Home. Now, she's already in the game, so this is not too much of a surprise. You can find her in some of the the campaign levels. You can find her in some of the challenge levels, particularly the ability material tier 4, I think it is, where on the last wave you do fight Arwen with a bunch of Rivendell characters and Strider. So it says, and this is what's interesting. So it says she's best with Leliel, who is just a standard woodland elf, and Elrond here, who is an elf ranger and also part of the Rivendell tag. Not best with Strider, and not best with any of the other, currently Lomian, I guess, is the only other Rivendell elf. But anyways, so she's a support character. Her kit is listed down here as well. The first time I read this, and I don't know if it's been updated since, it seemed like they may have removed the part where she does a team up with Strider, which would be highly disappointing, because that's kind of like the main part. Well, like, I've seen it in so many of the trailers and things like that, so it would be weird. But anyways, her basic ability, Guarded Slash. So this does, it's hard to read, because maybe can I zoom in a little bit more? Maybe without screwing up the game, the website. Attack the target for 90% damage and a 50% chance to grant 1 stack of defensive or defense up to the most wounded squad member. For now, I'm assuming this is like rank 1, and then they're going rank 1 and rank 6. I don't know. Oh god, the videos are bugging out. But I think that's, there we go, one more. Attack the target for 180 plus grant a guaranteed stack of defense up. So that's fine. And I guess there maybe it's going to be like 75% of some of the other ones. I don't know. Special ability, Deadly Earnest. Now, I thought this was the team up attack with Strider. Strider's even there in the video, so I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. But anyways, it says it's on a cooldown of 3. Attack the target for 130% and dispel 1 positive effect. Attack the target at max level, anyways, for 270, dispel 2 positive effects, and gain 20% turn meter and additional 20% per boon on self. So positive effect on herself. So this could be pretty bonkers, but I'm almost certain this was the attack that had the team up with Strider. This appears to be missing, and like I said, he's there. Okay, and then her final ability, the Evening Star, that's her big buff move. And it can go as low as a 4 ability energy cost. It cleanses a Bane from 2 squad members at the start and grants regen. Later on, though, as it goes up, it clears a 1. That's a little bit disappointing. That's only 1. I wish it was maybe 2. Debuffs from all squad members, grants a stack of regeneration to all squad members, and 1 additional stack if they're below 50% health. Now, if they're Rivendell allies, then she'll also grant immunity, which is really nice. Unfortunately, it's only 1 character, though. So I have to say that part is a little bit disappointing. Passive ability, Light of Rivendell. Ability description, when a squad member drops below 50% health, grant 50% chance to grant a nimble or evade if you're coming from Marvel Strike Force. So this is pretty good, though. It's more guaranteed at max and also can trigger, but it only triggers once per squad member. So that's fine in things like Arena. And maybe the Elf team or the Rivendell team is more designed going to be like an Arena meta team. It's hard to say. And then she gains just 10% damage flat. So, yeah, obviously she's designed to be with Rivendell Elves. If you've seen any of the battles where she's part of that, even mentions Elrond here as well. But I'm not going to read through all of this anyways, the strategy. You can read this on your own if you like to, on EA.com in the Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth news section. But this kind of leads to, what are our expectations for the latest Elrond announcement, that Elrond is going to be the first legendary character in the game. And we know that he is a Rivendell elf, right? So a lot of people are wondering, what characters should we be focusing on to start, getting prepared for this. Now, it's probably not going to be for some time. Honestly, I don't expect Elrond to be any less than a month. It's going to be at least like a month out, probably, until Elrond. But I kind of want to remind people of the video that I did with Nooch, and we were talking about, Elrond. We were talking about legendary unlocks, what happens in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, what happens in Marvel Strike Force, and sort of what we thought that could be possible. And we both agreed, in private as well, that I think based on this previous announcement, that it seems more likely, very likely, in fact, that Arwen is going to be part of this. Whatever unlock requires for Elrond, Arwen will be a part of it. And why? Because that means that everyone starts at scratch. There is no way that players can get shards for Arwen ahead of time. What it really means is that most likely you're going to have to spend on shards to get Arwen. There may be an event, of course, that are free to play. Maybe we get 2-star, maybe we get 3-star free to play. But otherwise, you're going to have to spend to get that up to 5-star, which is the confirmed requirement for Elrond. I'm pretty sure on the news listing it did say that it was going to be 5 stars to unlock him. So I think that's what it's going to be. Now, what else could there be? Well, let's just pull up the elf listing just to start anyways. We have Elro here. I think without a doubt, Elro here is going to be on this list. Why? Because I don't even have any shards for him. And why is that? Because he is a super late farm at Shadow's Hard 5/5. That is pretty much the end of the Shadow line, more or less. And that means you're probably going to be around level 50-ish. I don't even have Shadow's 5 regular unlocked because you need level 47 for that, which means that this is going to be a very late farm. Now, if you're someone who bought shards for Elro here, then congratulations. You're probably a little bit step closer. So as soon as I am able to do this, that is what I'm going to do. I don't have that yet, but once I get to this point, I'm going to be starting to farm Elro here in preparation of this, because I honestly think not only is he probably going to be for the unlock, but he is part of that Rivendell Elf team anyway, so he's going to be on that team with Arwen and Elrond. Now, who else do I think could be on here? Frankly, any of these characters, and I'll tell you why. For sure, Lomian is going to be on that list because, again, he's a Rivendell Elf, and I think that this is a good high probability. Did I just say good high? A high probability that Rivendell elves are going to be part of this. I honestly think so. Now, not all of the elves are Rivendell, so that proves a little bit of an issue. So where can you find Lomian as well? He's farmable now. Well, at least if you're up to this point, and so that's hard light 2-9. I have started to farm him as of yesterday. When I started hearing the Arwen announcement, I was like, yeah, there's a good possibility that this is going to be the case. And while some of them are farmable now, of course, to get to that 5-star is still going to take a boatload of time. So whether or not I'm right or wrong, if I happen to be wrong, I guess there's also that you need elves for challenges as well. And so I think that having the shards for them isn't going to be necessarily a bad thing. I think we'll have other uses for them in the future as well. Now, there's 2 other characters here that I'm kind of like iffy about, but I still think there's a good chance. Now, let's talk about Lelio, because she is mentioned actually up here in the Arwen thing up here, where it says best with Lelio and Elro here. So I don't know if that's a hint. Maybe it is. I don't know why that is listed that way. She is a tank, I think. I haven't looked at her kit too much, but she's more of like a woodland elf. And I don't know if this is definitely not a Rivendell elf faction. She doesn't have like any woodland trait or anything like that. But, I think that she's going to be either part of like a Mirkwood grouping or probably not a Lothlorien grouping. I mean, I'm not super up to date with everything Lord of the Rings, but I don't know if the appearance, shows off anything. But nonetheless, it's not a Rivendell elf. She has a tank. I thought she had a taunt somewhere. Does she not? No, maybe she doesn't. She stealths people. She stealths elves. So maybe by virtue of stealthing the elf characters, that makes it so that she's the only one out. Maybe that's how she tanks. But she doesn't actually have a tank ability. No, she does not. So I'm farming him. I'm farming her anyways, and I started doing that yesterday as well. You can find her on light 2-1 hard. Hey, the name stage is called the Council of Elrond. Is that a hint? Who knows? Maybe. But I'm doing that anyways. And also, I am doing Nera. There's an accent, so I'm probably screwing that up. Naramiri. And again, a woodland elf. She's a bit. He? I think it's a he. Is, looking pretty woodlandy. And he's a healer. Actually, you know what? I may, in fact, use this character. Because they have a heal that heals everyone. Never even thought about it. Even better with elf characters, Grants one ability, and stamina's ability energy. Grants ability energy to a random elf ally, and it does go up and again down below here. But there's a lot of healing in this kit. So maybe I'll actually end up using this character. Now, where do you find Naramiri? Well, it's a little bit further in, unfortunately. It's Shadows 3-9. Hard mode. So that is a little bit further down the line. But the hardest person to farm out of all of these characters are Elrond here. Now, this is 4 characters, plus Arwen would be 5. Now, it could be these 5, honestly, but there's a couple things that we're missing. Elrond, who is the tank for the Rivendell team. He's the guy with the spear. He's not out yet. So he could be the second marquee character alongside Arwen, which may come at a later time. And therefore, it could just be a blanket elf. There might be more than 5 characters. Who knows? Because that would be 5 characters if they bring out Elrond, and it could be that. Or sorry, 6, because it would be Arwen and Elrond, my bad. And then the only other character that I think could be part of this, but I don't know how likely this is, would be Strider. And so why do I think that? Because Strider's supposed to have a team-up attack with Arwen. The reason why it might not include Strider is because you don't really have a reliable way to farm him, shard-wise. Now, I'm at 52 out of 130 because I've been playing this game for about 3 weeks now. And you only get about 5 shards a day. You do get some of his shards through the quest objectives and the achievements, things like that. But there's no, like, on-demand way. They don't sell shards for Strider, as far as I'm aware. And so the likelihood of this, I don't know. I think they probably want to keep it to the elves. Otherwise, they would be like, elves plus Strider, required for this. They'd have to specifically name drop Strider. I don't know if they've done this in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. They have done this in Marvel Strike Force, though, which is why, I'm wondering whether or not they'll pull anything out of that. I realize it's a Capital Games game, but those are just my thoughts anyways. Strider's a great character anyway, so if it happens to be Strider, I have him leveled up and kept up, so the event shouldn't be that hard if that's what is required. Nonetheless, though, for the elves that currently are out in the game, there's about 180 energy that you're going to need to put aside to farm these characters, in my opinion, every day. Now, yes, that is going to take away from some of the things that you might already be doing, and that's part of this game. It's energy management, it's resource management, and making sure that you're staying on top of things. I know this is very early on to think about as well, especially for some of you who may have just started over the last week. Yeah, I know it's tough. It's really tough. Just to end, I want to kind of let you guys know what I'm doing with my campaign energy and some of the characters that I am actually farming. So, I am farming. I used to farm Yeftu because I thought that there was some connection for the Haradrim. There was that rumor about. I stopped doing that now. But as far as characters that I'm farming in hard mode in the campaign with my regular energy, outside of the elves, which I'm doing now, which is 180 energy I'm putting aside for those characters, I am farming Eowyn on the campaign. I am farming Dunhar. I am farming not Ugluck because he's not there. I am farming Mauher. So that's 3 characters, and Eothane. I'm pretty sure that's it. So those 4 characters, that's 240 energy, plus the 180 for the elves. That's 420 energy every single day that I'm dedicating to character shards. What am I doing with the rest? That's where my gear comes in. That's where I farm. So basically about half of my energy is going towards character shard farming, and then the rest of it's going towards character gear and crystals that I'm farming. So I might do a more specific character farm guide in what I recommend in general, but right now this is it, because I think that if you want to consider the possibility of even getting Elrond, whether you're a free-to-play player, who may have to wait to the second pass, or a possible spender who might get him even quicker if you want to maybe not spend as much, for example, to get him, then these are the things that I'm recommending right now. Is it correct? I can't say for 100% certainty, but I have, after playing these games for a long time, that's my inclination, is that it's going to be somehow related to Arwen and the characters that come after her, which could be Elrond as well. And that combination of characters, whether it's elves or Rivendell or both, I think it's very likely at this point. That's just my thoughts anyways. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. And until next time, everybody, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.